What Stoicism teaches about a just society. Everyone talks about justice. Politicians use the word. Protesters cry for it. Philosophers debate it. But what does a truly just society look like? Is it about laws? Is it about equal rights? Is it about opportunity? The Stoics would say, justice isn't only about governments or courts. It begins with how each of us chooses to live. Because society is just a reflection of the souls that make it. The Roman world of the Stoics was not just. It was full of hierarchy, slavery, and inequality. Citizens held power while foreigners were sidelined. Men held authority while women were often confined. Rich families thrived while the poor struggled to survive. And yet, in this world, the Stoics declared something radical: all human beings share the same rational soul. Epictetus, born a slave, became one of the greatest philosophers of his age. To his students, many of them powerful Romans, he said, "You are not your role, not your wealth, not your status. You are your reason. And that, we all share." Musonius Rufus argued that women deserve the same education as men because virtue does not belong to one gender. This was shocking in a culture that treated women as lesser. Seneca reminded his readers, "We are members of one great body. Nature brought us to birth as kin." And Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, wrote in his private journal, "What injures the hive injures the bee." To him, justice meant remembering that the welfare of the whole community is tied to the welfare of each individual. Even as emperor, he saw himself as a servant of the common good. From these voices, a Stoic picture of justice emerges. Justice is not about privilege. It is not about tribe. It is about recognizing the divine spark of reason in every human being. So what does that mean for us today? It means that racism, sexism, discrimination, exploitation, these aren't just social problems. They are philosophical failures. They violate the Stoic principle of justice because they deny the equal worth of every rational soul. A Stoic asks, what is a person's character? Do they live with wisdom, courage, justice, and self-control? That, not birth, not wealth, not identity, is the measure of worth. But the Stoics also insisted that justice is not only about ideas. It's about daily practice. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." In other words, stop talking about justice, live it. How do we live Stoic justice today? Here are 10 practices. First, treat people as human beings, not as categories. The Stoic sees beyond labels to the rational soul we all share. Second, act fairly in the small things. Justice isn't only in courts, it's in paying a worker fairly, keeping your promises, and respecting strangers. Third, challenge prejudice in yourself. Ask, is this judgment rooted in reason, or in convention and fear? Fourth, defend the dignity of others. Epictetus reminded his students that to insult another is to insult yourself. A Stoic does not remain silent in the face of cruelty. Fifth, remember the hive. What injures the whole injures each of us. A just society cares for its weakest members, because the health of the community depends on them too. Sixth, seek truth, not popularity. Justice is not about pleasing the crowd. Marcus often reminded himself that the applause of others is worthless compared to living with virtue. Seventh, value quality of friendships over number of allies. The Stoics believed that one virtuous friend was more valuable than 1,000 shallow supporters. Justice grows from genuine bonds. Eighth, educate yourself constantly. Musonius Rufus saw education as a path to justice, because ignorance breeds prejudice. A just person seeks wisdom, not just comfort. Ninth, accept responsibility. A Stoic doesn't wait for the government or society to change first. They begin with themselves. You can't control the whole system, but you can control how you act within it. And 10th, lead by example. Marcus Aurelius held the most powerful position in the world, but reminded himself daily that power without virtue corrupts. Leadership in Stoicism means service, not domination. Now imagine a society guided by these principles, where laws are written with fairness at the core, where leaders are chosen for virtue, not privilege, where families teach children to value character, not status, where communities honor dignity, not division. That vision isn't fantasy. The Stoics called it the cosmopolis, the world city, where every human being belongs. Of course, they knew it wouldn't be easy. Marcus lived surrounded by corruption. Seneca witnessed political violence. Epictetus endured inequality. And yet, none of them gave up on justice. Why? Because justice is not about perfect systems. It's about daily choices. Your choices. My choices. The Stoics believed that injustice anywhere damages the order of the whole. Racism, sexism, exploitation, these don't just harm the victim. They corrode the character of the perpetrator. They poison the society that tolerates them. Justice, then, is not charity. It's survival. The question isn't only, what is society doing? It's also, what am I doing? Because every act of justice strengthens the whole, and every act of injustice weakens it. So ask yourself, in my workplace, do I treat colleagues with fairness? In my family, do I honor dignity equally? In my community, do I use my voice to defend what is right? These daily actions are the bricks that build a just society. The Stoics remind us, wealth fades, power shifts, empires fall. But virtue endures. And justice is the virtue that binds us together. So the real question is not, what do I believe about justice, but how do I live justice today? That is how philosophy leaves the page and enters the world. If this helped you see justice in a new light, tap subscribe and keep reflecting with us here at Stoic Principles. Because the world becomes just only when we do.